So I'm here with Christos today. We just had the Young Rail Professionals committee member quarterly? Monthly committee meeting. And I grabbed Christos afterwards because I wanted to have a quick chat with him about his opinion for Young Rail Professionals. So how would you say that your employer supports or hinders or allows you to explore different types of things you can be doing?
I think they support me in the sense that I'm part of the Network Rail graduate scheme, which gives me more flexibility in terms of what I choose to do within the company and the avenues that I choose to pursue. But I think on the other hand, they kind of hinder me by the lack of formal structure for the type of scheme that I'm on.
What would you say your challenge is with avoiding staying just in that one particular role?
I think it's quite difficult to try and describe, what a profession is now. I think we've moved beyond the age where you had the traditional professions, law, medicine, teaching and so on. I think the definition of profession now is a lot more flexible. But in terms of trying to ensure that you're not pigeonholed, I think what a lot of people don't realise is that rail is actually a very busy and a very diverse industry. But it's quite difficult to realise that when you're looking at it from the outside.
Yeah.
The downside of that is that when you do start in the rail industry, in whatever role you find yourself in, it's easy to assume that this is the only role available. So one of the challenges, I think, is to keep educating yourself about the industry in order to realise the full extent of roles that you could potentially be doing.
Okay, so what would you ask for from a rail employer or a government or anyone else to help you have the career or the work time that you would like?
I think it's quite important to have a wider overview of the rail industry from the moment that you start in it, because if you join a big company like, for example, Network Rail, there are quite a lot of different business functions that you might not be aware of. If you join a more specialised company, such as, for example, an engineering consultancy, again, you might not be aware of the possibilities that might exist in fields such as operations or maintenance, which is why I think events like the regular Welcome to Rail event organised by Young Rail Professionals is quite good, because I think it helps people to open their horizons in terms of what's available in the railway. What I'd like to see is major railway companies doing that of their own accord and focusing not necessarily just on what their companies do, but on how they can work together with the wider rail industry.
How do you, in your job, see the end user, and what empathy do you have as part of your work?
That's a very good question, actually. I think...
Would you like to answer it?
I'll try. There are a lot of jobs, I think, in the rail industry where the passenger or the travelling public is almost kind of like the elephant in the room, in the sense that we know they should be there, but we don't necessarily talk about them. So in my view, I think even if you don't immediately see the travelling passenger in the type of role that you're doing, it's important to keep reminding yourself that ultimately everything we do is for the benefit of the travelling public.
Very quickly, 3 best things about working in rail.
Challenge, variety, and travel.
3 challenges of working in rail.
Variety, I'm going to have to repeat myself there. Lack of diversity.
Yeah.
And for my third one, I'd have to say probably not looking at the bigger picture.
Okay. And lastly, best experience.
Best experience of working in rail?
Just best experience.
Or in life?
Well, it should be the same.
Oh God, you've really put me on the spot here. I think might sound quite generic, but I'll have to say just being part of a successful project and seeing your work having a tangible impact on people's daily lives.
On the end user.
Of course,
The
on the travelling
passenger.
public,
Oh.
the passenger.
Great.